When I get beads shipped in when I was in the prison, I was better than Christmas. It was. I mean, just I couldn't wait till you'd get there so I could start making things. My name is Bernard Pease Jr. Everybody calls me Bernie. I was wrongfully convicted of a homicide that I did not do in 1984. I spent 40 years in prison. I was 26, and then now I'm 67. I've been out of prison about a year now. I live with my sister and brother-in-law, Linda, Thomas, and Kirk. I pretty much have the whole basement to myself. Most of the art that I do is here in this room or my other bedroom. Sometimes I'll start it right after lunch and then work until 5 o'clock, and then if I don't go sneaking off, go fishing, I'll start again about 7 o'clock and work until about midnight. It relaxes me. You know, the only other thing that relaxes me as much as fishing. I started art when I was young, drawing, painting. I kind of gave it up until I got incarcerated. When you're in prison, you know, there's a lot of things to do for people, and a lot of it's not good. I chose to do my hobby, to stay out of trouble, and to help earn some extra cash. Native has always been my style. My dad was a Crow tribal member. I'm a descendant, and I've been around natives all my life. So that's what I like, and where I see some of the stuff that I have now is pieces from the history of our families, our relatives. I started beadwork, and over the years I've learned new techniques. I make peace pipes, rattles. I do paper mache, and I make dream catchers out of it, and eye catchers. Nobody else does them like I do. People think that it's wood, but it's not. It's paper mache. I use coffee for coloring, and then I use color crayons. There's at least 16 different steps that I got to do to complete one. And there's probably 45 different items on it. It takes a lot of material and a lot of time, especially the drying time. Not just on one phase, but 2 phases on it. And then an electric drill to go through it. We used a Glover's needle and a piece of bone that had a little hole in it. You use a needle to go through it, and then you push it through. And that is hard. I mean, it's harder than wood. I've made things that people's never seen before, and then yet I still do old school beadwork, native. And I think the most favorite one is when I made my mom a buckskin dress, beaded, and knee-high moccasins that were beaded. They were in a parade a few years back here in Billings. You know, I enjoyed doing my dad's pipe. You know, that took many a weeks. I lost my parents 2 years ago. First my dad, and then my mom 10 days later. And that really knocked me down. But I have a prayer where blanket right here. And every time I make my bed, I touch this prayer blanket, and I say good morning to my mom, and I say good morning to my dad. for the last 25 years. They're in my heart every day. I try to do the best work that I can. You know, my dad always taught me that. It stuck very well. You know, he was a good teacher, he was a good man. You know, after 10, 15 years in prison, people started looking up to me, and you know, they come to me for questions on how do I do this, how do I do that. You know, if I got the answer, I'll tell them. You know, or they want to learn how to beat. Yeah, well, I might show you, but if a person really, really wants to do a hobby, they will keep bugging you. All right, I'll help you. You know, but don't lay down right in the middle when I'm teaching. You say, oh, it's too hard. But some do, but then they come back, oh, I got it figured out, now what do we do? So, there's challenges with hobby in prison. You can only have 20 hanks of beads. And when you order that, you have to think 20, 30 different items that you can use it with so that you can use your material. And if you have too much, they'll come in and take it. The correctional officers, they'd spill your beads or mix them together or just say, oh, you got too many. You know, and just, you have to hold your tongue. You know, I always did. But they pretty much left me alone because I did my own thing, I did my jobs, and I go above and beyond when I work. That's what I was taught. When I started working in the prison, it was 15 cents an hour. And that don't go very far. I mean, you work all day long for a soda pop. When I first came out, I would be kind of penny pinch, and I still do, but I try to buy the things on sale. I only make a little bit of money from my hobby. It's more exciting just to make it than, you know, get money for it. My prices aren't really too high. I don't like dust on my hobby. I like keeping it moving, keep generating, you know, more money so I can pay for, you know, a little bit more beads. I put a little away and then I give the rest of it to Linda because she's the one that has invested all this. So it's a win-win situation. I mean, without her, it really would have been a struggle, and it would have been more of a struggle without the Innocence Project. So I mean, they're helping me way beyond what I thought that, you know, the help that I would get from them. You know, I feel like I just crawled out from underneath a rock into a new world. It may seem, you know, strange me saying that, but it's like turning a light on and a light off, walking back into society. You know, I never really had to do all the doctor's visits and appointments and trying to figure out Medicare, Medicaid. I had a driver's license when I was in prison, so that helped. The world has changed so much. Telephones, computers, even the cars and stuff. I still get lost, even out here in the Heights where I used to live when I was a kid. Everything just looks so different that, you know, I feel like I'm in a new city. It feels nice right now to be in a secured place, you know. But by the end of the year, we're hoping to have me in an apartment to where I can have my own space. Just feeling a little bit more freer and a little bit more at ease, you know, my place. So MySpace.